welcome back to another edition of Sling Paint Gaming. I am Berto, and today I got another present for you. So we just did 3 videos, or I say 2 videos. This is the third one, and I have the new Sabine TIE Fighter, and we're gonna do an unboxing. I have not opened it up yet. I just cut the round surroundings so we can open this bad boy up. We kind of know what all the cards are on this thing, but guess what? I don't care. I'm gonna do an unboxing, and guess what? We're gonna look at this awesome looking. This thing is just sick looking on the details that they did on this ship. All right, so just a little disclaimer. All these ships, the Upsilon class shuttle, the quad jumper, and Sabine's Tyne is part of Wave 10. It actually gets released officially tomorrow. I did not purchase these ships. I was lent these ships for unboxing purposes only. Um, but I'm opening them up because we want to see what's cool and what's all this good stuff in here. All right, so this is a recorded live, so this is gonna be a live chat, live stream. You guys can definitely ask your questions in there, and I can and or share your comments or your feedback. But we're gonna open this bad boy up. So let's get right into the mix here. Um, let's see. Let's pop open this ship here. Get this paper out. So this is the credits. You also got the whole maneuver dial thing and more credits and proof of purchase. Very nice, very nice, very nice. You got all the cards and stuff, which we're going to go over, things set by set. We're also going to open this ship up. You get the little peg. Here we go. Now, this just looks like a regular old TIE fighter, but it's got Sabine's awesome touch. And if you guys don't know what this is from, let me see if I can get a peg. I know I have a peg here. There's a peg. I'm going to put this peg on here just so I can hold it. But oh my goodness, check that out. Look at the details of this ship. Now, that one panel on that side, both panels on the outside are not painted, but the inside panels are. And look at the details. Look at the checkered flag details on that. Let me see if I can back this up just a little bit. But this thing is crazy looking. Isn't that awesome? Oh, I love the way this ship looks. It's just sick looking. So a lot of people actually have been painting these ships. I've always said that too. It's like they paint the ship and all of a sudden they come out with the ship that's that everybody's been painting. It's like, oh, now I got a professionally painted one. This is like this. It's a gorgeous paint job. And if you guys don't know where this ship comes from, it's actually, I believe it's in the first season of Star Wars Rebel series when the TIE fighter that Zeb, I think, Sabine takes it over and basically paints the ship, if I remember correctly, in the Star Wars Rebel series. So Sabine, basically, she's a painter and she likes painting different things, and she goes in and takes her TIE fighter and paints it all up. But if you look at it, it looks like a regular old TIE fighter, and that actually kind of plays to some of the cards that are in this mix. So this thing, again, is just an awesome looking ship. Everybody online is saying it's just a nasty, beautiful looking ship. Nasty because of some of the cards that come with it, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes here. Some Super Kitty Avatar says that is a pretty nice paint job on it. Absolutely. Yep, it's definitely the first season. Derek told me paint job seems to be getting better all the time. Yeah, I mean the paint job on the quad jumper, the paint job on the Upsilon class are just phenomenal. Definitely check out those other videos that I did the unboxing for these. But this is the Sabine TIE Fighter that's from the Star Wars Rebel series. Gorgeous. All right, so that's the ship. And it's just like I said, it's the same thing as a regular TIE fighter. I actually have this is a painted TIE fighter that I did. I was just playing with paints and stuff like that. But it's exactly the same. Same dimensions, same sizes. Looks like, yeah, exact same thing. It's just got a different paint scheme on it. That's the only thing. So this is the one I painted. If you guys look like that, I call this my blood gang. I got like 4 of these, and then I got a TIE Punisher that I painted up. The same blood panel with the bottom panel, but yeah. But same exact size, same exact everything. Looks pretty good. All right, so let's go right into the cards itself. All right, so let's get the cards out, put them to the side for right now. Let's get these big old things out. And I've always said, if you always wanted to know what some of the cards do or things, always look at what comes with the whole cards here. So first thing is you see you have another condition token, which we're going to talk about. Oop, just dropped it. Here's the dial on that side, and it's very TIE Fighter-ish. So the funny part is this is actually a TIE Fighter, right? And it says TIE Fighter on it, but it's done in the Rebel thing. So that's pretty interesting. A lot of people do that. Super Kitty says, I feel that Fantasy Flight is really upping the quality of the ship paint jobs. Even the generic ships seem to have better paint on them. The first issues with the Lambdas, you can see the brushstroke marks and what have you. Yeah, I would actually, you know what? I would love to see Fantasy Flight. I would love to see your manufacturing process on these ships. Just as a fan, kind of like a how it's made type of video, like showing the whole manufacturing process, showing us how they get painted. Are they machine painted or are they hand painted and what have you? I know they come on a ship, so they come from another country painted. Here's the other tokens and bases and what have you. And if you guys do see, there's a lot of Ion tokens on here. And you see Zeb Aurelius, you see Ahsoka Tano, Sabine Wren, and you see also Captain Rex. And these are all characters. Actually, Ahsoka is mostly from the Clone Wars animated series, but I think she does make appearance, I think, once or twice um, within the Star Wars Rebel series. But Zeb, Captain Rex, Sabine are all from the Star Wars Rebel series. Captain Rex, the younger version of the Captain Rex, is actually in Clone Wars as well. But he does make appearance within, I think, the second season of Star Wars Rebel series. So that's all the tokens and stuff. Let's get right into the cards. I'm actually going to first show you what comes. You do get some 3 rule cards with it. So you get the Ion token, which is nothing new, modifications and title, and you also get the condition cards because there is condition cards with this. All right, so that's that. Let's get right into the pilots. So right off the bat, you get 4 pilots that I see here, which is nice. Robert Monroe says, my friend in Italy got his Wave 10 stuff on Monday. Yeah, I think there was different release dates for different areas. I don't know why the United States is usually the last to get stuff. But here is Zeb Aurelius. Check that out. I love the artwork on here. He comes in a pilot skill value 3 in this typical TIE fighter. 2 attack, 3 agility, 3 hull, 0 shields. Comes in at 13 points. Not bad. Academy pilots is 12 points. This is at 13 points, and you get an ability. Now, the funny part is if you look at this, there's no generics. Okay, these are all named pilots. So there's no generics that you can have. Like you can't outfit 14. I'm saying 14. But let's say if you want to do 8 TIE fighters in a Rebel squad setup, you can't do that. They made this unique on purpose because, again, it's a captured TIE. Now, can you have 2 actual TIE fighters 2 TIE fighter pilots playing on the Rebel side? Absolutely. So you can take a TIE fighter ship and play the card and the base and you can have it. Or you can buy 2 Sabine TIE fighter. Now, I might buy 1 or 2 of these ships because they're just freaking kick-ass looking. But anyway, all right, so let's get into Zeb. So that's Zeb. That's a stat. The typical TIE fighter focus, barrel roll, evade. But he does got the ability which says when defending, you may cancel crit results before hit results. I like that. Not bad, not bad. Captain Rex, same stat line, comes in a pilot skill value of 4. He's at 14 points, only 1 more point than Captain Rex, than Zeb. So after you perform an attack, assign the suppressive fire condition card to the defender. Let's find that card because that's an interesting card. So there is the suppressive. Whoop, almost dropped it. There is a new condition card, suppressive fire. Okay, and it's got a lot of text on it. And it says, when attacking a ship other than Captain Rex, roll 1 fewer attack die. When you declare an attack targeting Captain Rex, or when Captain Rex is destroyed, remove this card. At the end of the combat phase, if Captain Rex did not perform an attack this phase, remove this card. Okay? So it kind of goes with the whole Captain Rex card, so the suppressive fire here. And it says after you perform attack, assign this card. So you're assigning the suppressive fire condition card to that after you attack them. So this is now it's hard too because with a TIE fighter only slinging 2 dice, are you going to get a lot of things through? No. But with that condition, basically when attacking a ship other than Captain Rex, roll 1 fewer attack die. All right, so this card goes on that, and basically that person actually rolls one fewer attack die. So if you want to limit the opponent's ship's ability, um, of a primary weapon, this actually will help you out. So this is the whole thing with suppressive fire. Again, suppressing the fire. So this card gets assigned to a ship, or you actually put the token on it, and that token basically. Now, if it's at Captain Rex, you're gonna get the full fury of Captain Rex will get the full fury of the primary attack weapon. That's assigned to that ship. All right, so that's Captain Rex and Suppressive Fire. So the next card is Sabine herself. Check that art. That art looks killer. Love it. And I'm looking, just so you guys know, I have my monitor. I have like two monitors. I have my camera monitor. It's on my computer here when I do these chats in my office here, and then I have another monitor over here that has my streaming software, and I got YouTube over here, so looking at the chat. So when I'm looking at that side, because like I got like 14,000 different things going on at the same time. So bear with me when but the artwork, and I'm looking at the artwork through my monitor here. It's not right at my camera, which is right there. All right, but that's a killer artwork. She comes in at a 5, which is nice. Same stat line. She does get the elite slot, and um, Captain Rex didn't have the elite slot, and neither did Zeb. So only at pilot skill value 5, Sabine, she does get the elite slot, coming at 15 points. That's not bad at all. I love that. 15 points, and her ability says immediately before you reveal your maneuver, you may perform a free boost or barrel roll action. So some nice positioning ability. I like that. And with an EPT slot, you could jump up to a 7 if you want to run VI, or a 6 if you want to run, get the free. Oh my God, I can't think today. Jeez, you can do this. You can actually put adaptability on Sabine and jump her up to a 6, or VI to a 7. So that's not bad. And it got the evade token, so it helps stays alive. Not bad at all. I love it. All right, so that's that. And last but not least, the card that everybody's been talking about, Ahsoka Tano. Coming in at a pilot skill value of 7. Same stat lines. It has got one EPT slot. Coming in at 17 points. Not bad at all. Her ability reads: at the start of the combat phase, you may spend one focus token to choose one friendly ship at range 1. It may perform a free action. Okay? Now, everybody really I don't think, cares about the ability on her card as much as the setup that you can put on this card. And that kind of goes into the upgrades, which we're going to go into right now. All right, so as far as the upgrades, and we'll get into like a build, this and that, because in this, from the previous video with the quad jumper, was talking about this build with Scavenger Crane and what have you, but we're going to get into it. I love this build, and a lot of people have been talking about this one unique build that basically makes Ahsoka dropping bombs and doing a whole bunch of shenanigans before anybody else can shoot you. Like they have to, they can't shoot you at all. So you can be right point blank at them, and if they're low pilot skill value, really, they can't shoot you at all, which we'll get into. Okay, so let's look at. Comes with VI, Veteran Instincts. Everybody knows what that basically is. Increase your pilot skill value by 2 for 1 point. EPT slot, nice. You get EMP device. Yes, 2 points. EMP device. During the combat phase, instead of performing any attacks, you may discard this card to assign 2 ion tokens to each ship at range 1. Instead of doing any attacks, it is an illicit upgrade. So if you wanted to put this on Millennium Falcon, Freighter, using the smuggling compartment, you can do it. 2 points, that's not bad. The cool part about it, this is a lot of control. Again, you always hear about Rebel control. Rebel does have a lot of stress mechanics and what have you. This is just more to control. It's not now. It's an illicit slot, so it's helping control out on the scum side. But you can put it on the freighter and YT with smuggling compartment, which is nice. And it says during the combat phase instead of performing any attacks. So kind of like feedback array. Feedback array is not an attack, but if you can't perform an attack, if you're bumped up against a ship or whatever, you can still actually like feedback array them and cause a damage to yourself and an ion to yourself for 1 damage to your opponent. This is nice because you can actually put 2 ion tokens at every ship at range 1, so even large base ships will get ionized, so you know exactly where they will go next round. I love that. You also get, excuse me, Captain Rex crew card. It's unique, rebel only. Crew, 2 points. After you perform an attack that does not hit, you may assign 1 focus token to your ship. I like that. So if you, let's say you spent the focus token and you're a high enough, skill value pilot, and you're worried about lower ships attacking you, you can actually get the focus token back. So I like this with higher skill value pilots to help, maybe like on a ray or something like that, to help get a focus token back from a defensive perspective. That can definitely help out, which is nice. Love it. Okay. You also get, I'll save the best for last, but I'm going to say this is the next one I like the most. Sabine's Masterpiece. It is unique, so you can only have one. It is a 1-point card. It is a TIE Fighter only, Rebel only title. Say that 10 times fast. So you can only put it on Rebel only for the TIE Fighters, and it's a title. So only on these Sabine type ships that you're running, these 4 Sabine pilots that you could put this title on. So it basically says your upgrade bar gains the crew slot and the illicit upgrade. So for 1 point, you can make that TIE fighter, and we're going to talk about some of the builds here, and actually have an illicit slot. So if you want to put the crane, yeah, I can speak today. The Scavenger Crane on the cards and what have you, you can actually set that up, and we'll get into that in a little bit second here with some builds. Last but not least is a captured tie, which is also an elite. So you can only have one of these. TIE Fighter, Rebel only, and it's a modification for 1 point. Let's see if I can get that angle without the glare. There we go. All right. The text reads, enemy ships with a pilot skill value lower than yours cannot declare you as a target of an attack. After you perform an attack, or when you are only remaining friendly ship in play, discard this card. Okay. So you can't attack your any ships if you want this ability to happen. But if with Sabine's Masterpiece, with these 2 cards, right, and Sabine crew card, and potentially Scavenger Crane to help you replenish your munitions, you can actually drop bombs. Bombs are not considered attacks. So therefore, you can actually drop bombs and do a whole bunch of shenanigans with Scavenger Crane. The key thing though with Scavenger Crane is a ship has to be destroyed within range 1 or 2 of you in order for it to work. But you can get a whole lot of bombing shenanigans with that if that does work to your advantage. Now, a lot of people are talking about this because this allows you to basically go right through the heart of your opponent's attack and not get shot at as long as they are lower skill value piled than you, right? And then position yourself, right? Because you might not want to attack. Position yourself for the attack and then basically go on the offensive. And then as soon as you go on the offensive, the captured tie title goes away because again, it says after you perform an attack or when you are the only remaining friendly ship in play, discard this card. So basically, ships can't shoot at you until you're the last one of your ships, or they can't shoot at you if they're lower skill value pilot than you. So that's pretty cool. I like that. All right, so we talked about suppressive fire, the condition card. We talked about Captain Rex. All right, so looking at, I mean, that's pretty much all the cards that are in there. Looking at this build here, I'm going to see if I can pull up my screen. All right, so let's pull up the screen here. Come on, screen. There we go. All right, so that screen right there, if you guys can see that, this is a build that Anis was talking about, and I really like this. And actually, I know several people were also talking about this in our local store tonight because we were talking about these new ships are coming out. Everybody's in uproar about this combination here. You have Ahsoka Tano, basically, running with VI, what makes her a 9, okay? And you got her shenanigans, which is at the start of combat phase, you may spend 1 focus token to choose 1 friendly ship at range 1. It may perform a free action. But I can see this not really caring about her ability, but I care about how it's set up here because with Sabine's Masterpiece, you gain the crew and illicit slot. So with the crew and illicit slot, you put crew Sabine Wren, which gives you the bomb slot, which you can drop a counter net or whatever type of bombs. But I probably would want counter net for some control perspective for setup for my other ships. But the illicit slot, I'm putting Scavenger Crane, and Scavenger Crane basically says after a ship at range 1 or 2 is destroyed, you may choose a discarded torpedo, missile, bomb, cannon, or turret, or modification upgrade that was equipped to your ship, flip it face up, then roll one attack die on a blank result to scar it. So 5 out of 8 chances of a die result for a attack die, I get to keep Scavenger Crane. So I can potentially flip this back over to Canonet and drop another Canonet if I want to, as I'm Sabine. As long as I don't do any attacks, I don't lose a captured tie title. So that's what the whole combination is. Now the biggest thing though is they can't shoot. So you can go in the heart, fly right through the middle of their offense. They can't shoot you because of captured ties. Says enemy ships with a policy value lower than yours cannot declare you as a target of an attack. Lower than yours. Are we going to start seeing aces back? Are aces going to come back? The high, like Soon Tears, Vader, what have you, from Imperial side? Are you going to start seeing, a lot more Poe Damerons regen because of this situation right here and trying to get the VI, try to max it up to a 10 with adaptability or an 11 policy value because of, say, this whole Sabine thing? Because if you are able to drop, Connornet or proximity mines or any other combinations for 27, 28 points, you can put some other 6 ships in your list here. You can put a Poe Dameron list up in there and put maybe a U-wing as support, all right, and or a ghost. You probably could maybe fit a ghost in here as well. It's just a nasty combinations that you can do. Think about it. They can't shoot at you. If they can't shoot at you, right? They can't kill you. It's huge. So anyway, a lot of people. Let me just pull this up here. Come on, computer. There we go. I was trying to get my computer. This new software I'm running is a little weird. Excuse me. All right. A lot of people would just talk about that combination. It's just a nasty combination if you really think about it. I've been talking all night, so I got my McDonald's sweet tea here. I love. If you guys have had McDonald's sweet tea, it's like liquid gold. All right. I don't know why I'm addicted to sweet tea. I actually stop at McDonald's, not for their food, just for their sweet tea. I go through the drive-through. I'm like, can I get large sweet tea? That's all I get is the sweet tea. Sometimes I get a burger here and there, but most of the time it's just me getting friggin' sweet tea. All right, so, and this says, Berto, captured tie is a modification, meaning the crane can recover it if you lose it. Okay, so you can actually get the captured tie back. I love that. So captured tie is a modification. So Scavenger Crane, if you don't want to do the proximity mines or Sabine, you can actually, because the captured tie is a modification, right? You can actually get that back. So if you do want to shoot at a ship and you lose it, you can potentially get it back if a ship around you gets destroyed from range 1 or 2. And that's the only thing that I'm kind of on the fence about is the Scavenger Crane combination because it's conditional, right? It's a ship at range 1 or 2 has to be destroyed. Now, it could be your ship, an enemy ship, whatever, but it's conditional. It's not guaranteed. And you can also potentially lose Scavenger Crane. Now, does it open up so you can shenanigans and you can potentially shoot at people? Or let's say if you have, look at it this way. Let's say if you have a ship that you're shooting at is pretty low in hull value and you want to use a Shoko's ability, sorry, not Shoko's, but Shoko and the captured tie ability, right? You can actually shoot it to finish it off if you want. Let's say you get enraged and position yourself. You can finish it off, right? The ship gets destroyed. Scavenger Crane kicks in because it got destroyed within range 1 or 2 of you, and then you get your captured tie back, and then still ships can't shoot at you. So there's some weird combinations. Again, it is conditional, but if you play it right, you can actually make it work where you can keep that captured tie on you, and nobody can shoot at you. So you could position yourself, go around the board, right through the enemy lines, right? They can't shoot at you. Position yourself. Let your other ships the shoot, and then you have a Shoko coming from behind where she can't get hit, and throwing some dice at to finish off a ship. Scavenger Crane kicks in, gets the capture tie back, and those enemy ships still can't shoot at you. So it's weird combinations that you can do here. Vanessa, yeah, good point. The other thing is, let's see, plus the extra bomb. So Santi Reyes basically says, if you do this load up with Sabine Wren and you're running bombs, do remember Sabine, you get an extra damage. And Sabine's ability says your upgrade bar gives a bomb slot, right? But once per round before a friendly bomb token is removed, choose one enemy ship at range 1 of that token. That ship suffered damage. So let's say if you drop a Canonet, right? Canonet gets removed. So the ship that you drop the Canonet on gets Counternetized. Yeah, whatever. The counternet, ability kicks in, right? Because you remove that counternet, that same ship that you just counternet can also get another damage. All right. And counternet, like a lot of people like counternets over probably any other munition bombs, more because of a control perspective. Because it says when this bomb token detonates, the ship that moved through it or overlapped this token suffers 1 damage and receives 2 ion tokens. With Sabine, you can have 2 damage with that. So and ionized. So and if you for ships like Fenrau that's got 4 hull only, for ships that like Soontir or the TIE interceptors that have 3, um, those type of aces will be especially Imperial aces will hurt from this, and also the new scum ace Fenrau or Old Tarak can actually be hurt by counter nets. Or the cool part about it is, let's say if you're putting damage through with your other ships and you're only plinking away one hull, one hull, Counternet with Sabine crew can actually finish off the job and putting 2 damage on if you position your ship just right, which is nice. I love it. If you do a Counternet too, it takes it as an action, so you can position the TIE fighter. She moves last. You can see where everybody's gone, and you can potentially position your ship to to drop that net, which is nice. All right. One thing that I did want to talk about a little more in depth is also EMP device. So we talked about this card, EMP device. It says during the combat phase, instead of performing any attacks, you may discard this card to assign 2 ion tokens to each ship at range 1. So you again, it is an illicit upgrade, but with Sabine's masterpiece, you can put this on there. So you can also use this as control. Okay, so let me pull this up here. Let me switch back to my computer screen here. All right. So looking at this, so this is a Sokotano, right? You have veteran instincts. Now, if you take, let's take some stuff out here. Take Sabine out. We'll even take the Scavenger Crane out. If you run EMP device, okay, well, Sokotano just got even real cheap, right? She went down to 22 points here. All right, you still have to capture ties, so you can run them up, run it right up the middle, right through your opponent's defenses there, offenses. And with EMP device, all right, you now have something that can ionize people and set people up for control. So and the cool part about it is you don't have to do an attack with this, or you don't have to drop a bomb. As long as you're in range 1 of a ship, right, during the combat phase, you can ionize somebody, even including large base ships, because large base ships require 2 ion tokens. And small base is 1 ion token to be officially ionized, right? You can ionize it and control it. Now, they do when you do get ionized, okay, do note that ion tokens, I'm actually going to pull out the rule card here so you guys can hear the actual rules itself. So, basically in the planning phase, if you have your ion tokens, during the planning phase, the owner does not assign a maneuver dial to the ship. During the activation phase, the owner moves the ship as if it was assigned a white 1 maneuver, not green maneuver, not red maneuver, just a white 1 maneuver. All right, so if you're stressed already, if that ship was already stressed and it's got ionized, right, it still remains stressed. Even though if their dial shows 1 green, it still gets a white 1 maneuver. After executing this maneuver, remove all ion tokens from this ship, and it may perform actions as normal. So it can still perform actions. But if you want to control another ship and have them only move 1 forward, whatever the case may be, it's ionized. It just helps with control and maneuvering. Maybe ionize a ship off the board, right? I mean, just little different opportunities there. I've seen ships get ionized and they go right off the board, and that's a dead ship. Combat phases. This ship may attack as a normal, as normal. So when it is get ionized, when it attacks the next round and does the 1 white maneuver, it still gets the attack as normal and what have you. And again, it still gets action. So if it is like a Soontir or something like that, it can still boost and barrel roll and all those fun stuff and push to limit as long as they're not stressed. But if they are stressed, so look at aces that are stressed here. Let me switch back to the camera here. Come on, camera. Really? There we go. If you have an ace, because let's say like Soontir, I always use Soontir as an example. Soontir has a big thing that it usually they usually have pushed the limit because if it gets stressed, it gets a free focus token. That's the whole shenanigans with Soontir. Um, but they're going to try to clear the Strex the next maneuver. So they're always going to either do a two-speed maneuver because the two-speed maneuvers on a interceptor is all green, or they're going to try to do a straight maneuver. I think actually all the straights on an interceptor, if I remember correctly, are green. I could be wrong, but most of them are all green. I think it's two, three, four. I think two, three, four. I'm not sure if five has a green or not. So they're going to do that. If you ionize them and they're still stressed, guess what? They cannot remove their stress, and that's going to be a naked Soontir. Same thing with Fen Rao, unless they're playing with some tiny mind link or some weird combinations like that. If the ship is still stressed and ionized, it can't remove those actions. And a lot of the ships that require that push to limit, ionizing really throws off their game because they can't boost and barrel roll and what have you. So keep that in mind again because it's a white maneuver. It's a white one. It's not a green maneuver, so it does not remove the stress. And that's nice because if you have a tokenless Soontir, all of a sudden those three defensive dice, you can potentially plug away at it. It can't modify, can't add evades, they can't take an evade action, doesn't have the focus tokens to modify or what have you. So just keep that in the back of your mind. So ionizing, a lot of people love it because it's a huge control element and a huge thing where you can take away actions. All right, so JH Caratro is basically says, I have a build with a Shoko like Berto's talking about and Sabine with Juke and Twin Ion, make them flow by both in formation and couple them with a Regen Nora. Okay, like an R2D2 Regen Nora combination. Or an R5 P9 with Recon Spec. Right? A lot of people have been doing that recon spec with R5P9, but then again, I would just, you can use the focus tokens for attacking and defensing, but you can also use it for a regen for R5P9 as long as you keep one focus token at the end. Or a lot of people have just been running R2D2 because I think R5P9 is 3 points, and recon specs it's like 5 points, but it just helps with different combinations. But I think a lot of people have been running the R2D2 version of that. Patrick, actually, I'm sorry. John Estes says, "Hey, Berto, the capture tie only works on lower pilot skills, so it wouldn't work on Fen and Soontir." Correct. Okay, the capture tie. Yes, the capture tie. But what I'm talking about is with EMP device. All right, if you're not running the shenanigans with EMP device, but if you, let's say, get past that and you come around the back and you reposition, so let's say if you had Soontir coming this way and you had a Shoko coming this way, as long as you get next to with EMP device in range 1, EMP device will work. You don't have to attack at Soontir. You gotta be in range 1 of with the EMP device to initiate the EMP device, which basically will give them 2 ion tokens. So yes, so they can still shoot at you with captured tie because Soontir is a 9. If you're running a Shoko and VI is a 9, yes, you are absolutely correct. Yes. Let's look here. Patrick B says, Burrow Shoko for 19 points, VI and title. Keep her next to any ship to perform a boost or barrel roll during the combat phase. Can't shoot a Shoko, and you can save a ship or get into better shooting range. Yes, with her ability, because a Shoko's ability is actually not too shabby by itself. A Shoko's ability is at a start of combat phase, you may spend 1 focus token to a friendly ship at range 1. It may perform 1 free action, so you can help. Yeah, absolutely. What else? Only ships less than 9 can't shoot at you. So 8 and below. All right. If you're running a Shoko with VI, it's 8 and below because if you're 2 9s, they can still shoot at you. So it's 8 and below. So keep that in the back of your mind. Now, if you're running a Shoko with adaptability because you can't seem to get 1 point off, right, that makes her an 8. The funny part is in the current meta, I mean, besides Dangaroo with, is a 9. You've been seeing a lot of Fen Rao, he's a 9. Maybe some other combinations. A lot of people are playing mostly middle of the road as far as pilot skill value in the current meta. Now, things may change and shake up once all these 3 new ships get, that usually happens. When 3 new ships get put into meta, things get shaken up and stuff. So some things can be changed. But a lot of people, you're starting to see a lot of ships that are just around the 5, 6, 7 pilot skill value. So if you need to shave a point, you might be okay. Now you will get a matchup that you will have a 9, like a Fen Rao or something like that. That's a tiny mind link combinations or whatever the case would be, or Dangaroo. Now Dangaroo, I haven't seen that many Dangaroos, but I know it's big in other areas. In our own area, I don't really see that often anymore. I see a lot of Thai defenders, Commonwealth defenders, on stuff. So Commonwealth defenders are usually, I think, it's a Vessery and where is it? Thai defender. I think a Vessery is at a 6. Brath is at an 8. All right. Merrick Steele's at a 7, but I usually see Countess Ryad and a Vessery combination with the Lambda class shuttle. You see ghost combinations like with Kanan, like Blake. He runs the Kanan Biggs combination. They're at 5s, so I don't see a lot of high aces in my area. Now, your area might be different. Um, so Orion Slayton says, let's pull this up here. Orion Slayton in the live feed says, Berto Ashoko with BMST with Black Marker Slicer tools and the bomb still put damage through. So let's put that up. Let's see here. So instead of EMP, you're putting Black Market Slicer Tools for only 1 point, like that. And Black Market Slicer Tools, if you guys don't know that, it's an action. Choose a stressed out enemy ship at range 1 to 2, roll 1 attack die on a hit or crit, remove 1 stress token to deal 1 face down damage, which is nice. And then you're saying, and the bomb. So maybe put Sabine's crew. So Sabine Ren crew with some kind of bomb like Counternet, proximity mines, or something. It would probably have to be a bomb that's not an action. So ion bombs, seismic charges, thermal detonators, or proton bombs. Because if you use proximity or cluster or counternet, they are actions. And black market slicer tools an action. So as long as it's using bombs that are not an action-based bomb, like ion, seismic, thermal detonators, and proton bombs, black market slicer tools you could still work. And some ship range 1 to 2, so you can do that on top of it. Yeah, and then you're probably moving last, so if some other ships move. So yeah, I mean, again, this is the cool part about list building. You can have so many different shenanigans that can work. It's pretty cool. All right. Patrick B says, I haven't seen Soontir on the boards of the tournament since the new Defender title. Oh, yeah. I haven't seen Soontirs in a while. I use Soontir as an example because a lot of, back when when I first started playing, I mean, that's what it was. It was like Palp and Aces, right? And then it was just Soontir, and it was just, that's all you saw. That's all you seen there. I mean, it was just crazy. It was crazy stuff. Um, Quattro says, what about a Shoku with Sabine crew and running a couple of K-Wings with lots of bombs? You know, in our meta, we're starting to see a lot of K-Wing bombing. Um, you look at it this way. So whenever guys look at meta, right? And I'm going a little bit off topic here, off the whole Sabine TIE Fighter, but we're kind of done with the Sabine TIE Fighter. I mean, that's pretty much all the cards and stuff like that. The Sabine TIE Fighter, from what I'm sorry, the TIE Defenders is pretty much what a lot of people get, or you're seeing in your tournaments, you're seeing in your meta, in your area. And those things are just nasty, especially with TIE Defender that's middle of the ground like Ryad, Vessery, or what have you. And then having Palp Shuttle ability, then having the TIE X7 on top of it, which gives you, if you do a 3-4-5 speed maneuver, gives you a free evade token. And if you do the 4K turn, which is a little bit predictable, but still, it's a white 4K turn, it's still a 3-4-5 speed maneuver. And guess what? You get a free evade token with that. On top of, you can take your regular normal action. And if you're doing a Ryad and Vessery combination, if Ryad has it locked, Vessery gets a free lock on on the opponent that you lock. It's just a whole bunch of shenanigans, and that's been probably some of the top lists that's being played, and it's just nasty. What you're seeing as a counter to all of that is, how do I get past the defensive power of defenders? Guess what? What can't you roll defensive dice with or use defensive evade tokens with? Bombs. A lot of people are using bombs as a deterrent to get in front, deterrent to, as an, I should say not deterrent, more as an opportunity to take out these TIE defenders, or to take out the Fen Rouse that using the 14 million evade dice and dice result that it gets when it's facing you at range 1. So you're starting to see a lot of people run K-Wings all bombed up, like a Miranda combination with one Warden, just has a slew of bombs on it, right? And then one of them having Sabine and Miranda having with her regen ability and using advanced slam. So bombs can get past that evade dice and not care about evade dice. And then on top of it, they might run a TLT on the K-Wings, just as a deterrent for other large base ships, low agility base ships. So if you can't bomb those base ships, you can actually use a TLT that's very effective. So you're starting to see those K-Wing combinations. I think, especially with the Sokotano, and maybe if you get a K-Wing or two Wardens outfitted the right way, you can get a Soko at some reasonable nice points in there and have two K-Wings that are still kick-ass and that have a bunch of munitions to drop on, and that will work too. And the cool part is the Soko can shoot at these defenders. Now, it probably won't get through because it's only shooting a two primary dike, but it can at least position itself and drop bombs and use maybe the Scavenger Crane to get the bomb back. There's like a whole bunch of different combinations you can do here. Excuse me. My voice is so dry. So I did love it. We get some McDonald's sweet tea. All right. So Ganjaman is Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka Tano. You say tomato, I say tomato. We're all different. All right. So let's do this. So this is going to wrap this up. You guys have been awesome listening to me here. So there is a lot of cool things with this. Definitely leave it in the comments below what you guys think of Sabine's tie. It is going to be some weird ass shenanigans, especially for the Rebel side. It's the first time that I'm actually seeing this with the seeing that Rebels are going to have some fun. Ability with arc dodging, or just you're not arc dodging, but you just can't shoot at a ship for whatever reason unless if you're 8 or lower, which is nice. Are you going to see aces come back? Because are you going to see aces to combat the whole Sabine? Do you think that's going to come back, or do you think the current meta is going to change in your area based on these 3 new ships? Because we did three videos on the quad jumper, Upsilon class, and Sabine's tie. What do you guys think about these new condition cards? Leave it in the comments below. Also, check out all this good stuff right here. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Also, check out our website, slingpaint.com. Our community is growing. If you guys want to join it and put some lists there and get some feedback, what have you, we have over 1,000 people that just joined our community. Yeah, I want to say about 1,000, just at the 1,000 mark in our community itself. Also, if you guys want to submit any of the lists and that, submit them in our community. Follow that submit link, and you can submit to the listinator, and people can give you. And the listinator is basically our form area, but it used to be this whole thing where we actually look at lists. But we get so many lists now. You put them in the form areas, everybody will help chime in and give you ideas on your list. If you guys like what we do, definitely subscribe to that channel. Subscribe to the channel. You let us know when we go live, and you can be part of our live videos and stuff like that, and in our chat. Also, definitely check out our store. If you guys like what we do and you want to help support us, the best way to support us is make sure you're giving those likes on those videos, and also helping us keep the lights on and more at the Sling Paint store. So we sell a whole bunch of tokens. We have the new Dark Sun tokens that just came out for the Upsilon class shuttle. We also have, which I'm going to be working on, some Sabine tie inspired tokens. I'm really liking that checkered feel, so I may be doing some tokens that's related to that. But we also have a lot of the condition tokens, some animated condition tokens as well. If you guys want to check those out, take a look. And when you guys buy tokens, it helps supports us as well. And also t-shirts. Definitely check out t-shirt links. All right. Again, if you guys leave, I'm curious of what you guys think of this, man. Definitely leave it in the comments below. And always remember, as we wrap this up, always remember to sling more paint than your opponent does. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.